You know, every once in a while, something comes along in tech that doesn't just move the goalposts, it completely changes the entire game. And today, we are talking about exactly one of those moments. This is the story of DeepSeek V3.1, a model that might have just rewritten the future of AI.
What's so wild about this is how it happened. It showed up with absolutely zero fanfare. No big announcement, no flashy marketing, nothing. It just appeared on Hugging Face, the go-to spot for open-source AI. And almost overnight, the entire community started to realize something huge had just been dropped on them.
So what's this number all about? Well, it's the sheer scale of the thing. We're talking about a model with 685 billion parameters. You can think of parameters as the little neurons inside the AI's brain. And a number this big, it puts it right up there with the most powerful, most advanced AI systems on the planet. The kinds of systems usually kept under lock and key by the big tech giants.
But honestly, this is what sent a shockwave through the industry. Developers started running tests and realized that a complex task, say a big coding job, that would cost them $70 on a top-tier closed model could be done for just $1 on DeepSeek. That's not just a little bit better, that is a total and complete disruption of how the economics of AI are supposed to work.
So let's start with the arrival itself, because this story isn't about marketing hype, it's about the pure, undeniable force of raw numbers just appearing out of thin air.
Right. So, beyond the surprise, it was really this one-two punch of incredible performance and rock-bottom price that left everyone stunned. Let's actually dig into the data.
The reaction from the AI community was pretty much instant, and this quote from researcher Andrew Christensen nails why. This wasn't just some theoretical benchmark that nobody cares about. No, this was practical proof. It was something developers could look at and immediately see, wow, this is going to save us a ton of money.
And this graph says it all. For the very first time, a free, open-source model didn't just get close to the best closed model on a major programming test. It actually beat it. That might seem like a small margin, but for the entire open-source movement, this was a massive win, a huge milestone. And if that wasn't enough, it also came with a 128,000 token context window. So what does that mean? Basically, that's how much information the model can hold in its short-term memory during a single chat. A bigger window like this means it can tackle really complex stuff, like analyzing an entire software project or a massive legal contract all in one go.
Okay, so that's what the model can do. But the billion-dollar question is, how? How on earth did DeepSeek pull this off? Well, the secrets, it turns out, are baked right into its architecture.
I mean, it's the question everyone was asking, right? How can a free, open-source model suddenly leapfrog the most advanced, most well-funded AI labs in the entire world? The answer, it turns out, is a totally new way of building one of these things. They're calling it a hybrid architecture. You see, for a long time, people tried to build these do-it-all AIs, but they usually ended up being kind of mediocre at everything. DeepSeek V3.1 seems to be the first one to really crack the code, successfully blending specialized skills like logical reasoning, casual chatting, and complex coding into one single super powerful system that's great at all of them.
And this is where it gets really fascinating. As soon as researchers got their hands on it, they started digging around and found these hidden commands, these special tokens. The think tokens suggest the model can actually do some private reasoning, kind of like thinking to itself, before it gives you an answer. And the search tokens, they point to a built-in ability to go out and search the web for real-time info.
But this whole thing was more than just a cool piece of tech. It was a brilliant strategic move. This one release completely changed the rules of the global AI race and threw the whole business model of closed AI into question.
I mean, you have to admit the timing was just perfect. It was almost like a chess move. First, you have the big Western AI companies release their newest, most expensive models. They set the market, they establish the high prices, and then, just as everyone's getting used to that, DeepSeek quietly uploads a model that's just as good, sometimes better, for pennies on the dollar. And what this really does is it shines a spotlight on two completely different philosophies clashing in the world of AI. On one side, you have the Western approach: protect your secret sauce, charge high prices, and make back your huge investment. But on the other side, you have what looks like China's long-term strategy. Treat AI like public infrastructure. Give it away, get everyone in the world to use it and build on it, and worry about profits way down the line.
And there's a perfect analogy for this. This is the Linux moment for AI. Remember when Linux came out?
It was this free, powerful operating system that completely challenged the paid software world. That's exactly what's happening here. When the free option is this good, the expensive options suddenly have a lot of explaining to do.
So what does this all mean for the future? Well, to put it simply, the game has changed. This wasn't just a flash in the pan. It feels like the start of a whole new chapter for AI, a much more open one.
This leaves us with a totally new reality. First, the myth that only a couple of giant labs in the US could build these top-tier models, that's officially been shattered. Now, smaller teams, startups, even other countries, they can all get in the game. It also means that being exclusive just isn't a good business model anymore. If you're a closed AI company, you now have to prove your worth in ways that go way beyond just raw power.
And maybe this is the biggest takeaway of all. For so long, the most artificial thing about artificial intelligence wasn't the intelligence itself. It was the scarcity. This release proved that making top-tier AI a rare, expensive thing was a business choice, not a technical necessity. Frontier-level AI can be available to everyone.
So, yeah, DeepSeek V3.1 has completely reset what we thought was possible. And it leaves all of us with one really powerful question to think about. If this is what open source can do today, what on earth is coming next? The game has absolutely changed.